Have you booked that trip to Ireland yet? Press the green button and visit the island of Ireland. See Ireland.com.
Eurogold is driven by being the best civil engineering contractor in the Northwest, ensuring its clients are given the highest level of service that they deserve. Eurogold work in a wide range of industry sectors, including house building, highways, commercial and industrial build.
La Vita is an award-winning, independently run Italian restaurant. Located on Rose Lane in the heart of Liverpool, real Italian-style dishes, using the best ingredients, skillfully prepared by our chefs. Come and try our serious Italian experience.
The Warrington Irish Club, a friendly and welcoming club keeping the Irish culture alive. We have Irish and country music every Saturday night, tribute nights, race nights, charity nights and karaoke. All live sports are shown on big screens. We have snooker, dominoes and Crown Green bowling teams along with arts and craft. Pop in for a friendly welcome and book your event at the Warrington Irish Club. Give Frank a call on 01925 243 363.
Mulligan's Funeral and Monumental Services are a family-owned funeral service first established by the late Brian Mulligan in 1996. We provide funeral homes in Gorton, Manchester and Reddish Stockport, and we pride ourselves on giving a friendly and professional service to all the families who use our service. Contact us on 0161 432 0809.
Founded in Kilkenny, Ireland in 1702, but lost on a bet on a horse race in Deauville, France, 1918. Sullivan's was re-established a few years ago by direct descendants of two great Kilkenny brewing families, the Smithwicks and the Sullivans. We're about to embark on our own journey across the United Kingdom. But this time, we won't bet the brewery. Sullivan's. Brewing is in our blood.
Press the green button and visit the island of Ireland. See Ireland.com.
Hello and welcome to the show. Now we all know that dementia is a horrible disease and it could strike any one of us at any time. Well, on tonight's show we'll be meeting some people who has given up their lives to care for a family member at home. But first we are here at the beautiful Grym's Dyke Hotel in Harrow in London for an Irish night specially arranged by Patrick O'Connell and Gerry Molumby. Patrick, you must be so pleased. What a night it was tonight here. The crowd really enjoyed it.
Martin, this has been a very good night here at the Grym's Dyke in Harrow, one of our regular Irish nights, and this night was exceptional. I think we had a lovely balance of a show. I think everybody appreciated it. They had a meal before they came up. We're delighted with the outcome tonight. It's been one of the best nights yet here.
I've a nice little house and a cow or two on grass, a plant garden running by the door. I've a shelter for the hens, a stable for the ass, and what could a man want more? Maybe so, Oh, I don't know, but a bachelor is easy and he's free. And I've none to look after, I'm living all alone, but there's no one looking after me.
Now, Gerry, I know that you really enjoyed yourself. You've been performing up there. You've been a busy man tonight.
Yeah, it's been enjoyable. I was accompanied on the grand piano in this venue by Duncan McTaggart, and he's a great pianist, and we had a great evening of doing a tribute to Percy French. His comical songs, his songs of pathos, but well, you know that, Martin, from our tribute to him back in Formby area this year that you covered. Lovely always to sing the songs of Percy French. But I knew I was born in Ballyjamesduff, and that's why I've smiled on them all. That baby's a man now, he's tile-worn and tough, yet whispers come over the sea. Come back, Paddy Riley, to Ballyjamesduff. Come home, Paddy Riley, to me. Come back, Paddy Riley, to Ballyjamesduff. Come home, Paddy Riley, to me. Thank you. There are songs that I grew up with, songs that are humorous, that are full of storytelling, a bit of pathos, but lively songs, like on the piano, boom, 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 you know, chorus, join in. They're great songs that have lasted the time of longevity, yeah.
Mary Rose, what a night here. You've just come off stage there, and I'll tell you what, the crowd really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much, Martin. Yeah, we've just had a great night here at the Grym Dyke Hotel. A huge thanks to Gerry and Patrick O'Connell. What a night they've put on here tonight. Beautiful meal, traditional Irish music, a wonderful piano player. Gerry singing great songs himself tonight. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
And you're doing quite well yourself as well, entertaining all the crowd, and they've even booked you for next year again.
Yes, I believe I'm back again next year. Sure, it's my pleasure to come back and play for them again. You know, I've known Gerry for a long, long time. It's a pleasure for me to come back, yeah. Never again will he hold her near, with all his life she loved him dear. One last promise she'd make him, and she cried. We've had great years here in London. We had the Galtymore, we had the National, we had the Hibernian, we had Nelly's, we had it all. We definitely lived the best years in London, that's for sure.
Each and every one that performed doing a great job.
They did, and we have a lovely balance of Terence O'Flaherty with his Camden Town, which I absolutely adore that song. It's long, but I love it. Mary Rose with her country and Irish, a tribute to Percy French, and a little bit of comedy to add into the mix. It's a lovely balanced show, and we work hard at it, and it's great to see the result.
When I first arrived down in the town, along Camden High Road, I did walk down, jumped into the back of John Murphy's van, full of youth and vigour and white bread and ham. By 10 that first morning I thought I'd expire. Stuck down the hole, the Panama Sean. Oh, the Maxwell 10 bob we set out a pace that would fell Hercules.
You put pen to paper and you wrote a fantastic song. I think it relates to us all. We can all take something from it. It's Return to Camden. Tell me about that, where you got the idea from.
Well, when I was here, when I came here in the 70s, working on the building sites and that, I actually worked with the man who's Shawneen, a Connemara man, who had worked for Murphy and that. And he was a pacemaker for John Murphy's. He got an extra, he was telling me, because he seemed like an old man to me at the time. He probably wasn't that much older, but he was at least twice my age, and I was about 17, 18. So it's from that really, I remembered him stooped over from digging, and I queued up a bit myself in Camden Town when I first came over for John Murphy's van, and I just thought, I felt the need to write something about it, like.
And at the weekends we would all go to the Forum, the Gresham, the Galtymore.
I come from a family of singers, and there was always singing and music around where I came from anyway, sure. I guess it's a bit of social history, so it hit a chord with people, and I think it got shared around an awful lot by younger people to their parents and grandparents and stuff like that, you know, people who'd actually lived through it.
In Bambridge town in the county down one morning last we were lying on a boring wake in the sweet lane. She smiled, she passed me by. She looked so sweet from her two bare feet, she with her brown hair. So coaxing down when I shook my head to think I was really there. On Bantry Bay, on Derry Gate, on Galway's Dublin town. I've seen in the sweet Colleen, I met in the country town.
And of course it was a special night for Aidan McManus, who was celebrating his 80th birthday.
A great friend of mine over the last 35 years probably, 80th birthday. It was great to have him here on the actual day itself, and I know he enjoyed himself, and he's great. It's great to have him here with us.
I was born in Balleek, County Fermanagh, Northern Ireland, and I came to London around 1958. I went to school in Finchley for about 2 years, and then I joined the Metropolitan Police about 1961, and had a career in the police force. For 30 years I rose to the rank of inspector. I was a PC in Willesden, so we covered Cricklewood, mostly Cricklewood, Broadway, etc. on a Saturday night, and it was fairly rough outside the Galtymore, fairly rough. The young men used to come from the Crown into the Galtymore, and the woman that they thought they were going to meet again had another man when they were drinking in the Crown.
For Whittelton's safety and the CSCS, you need method statements and assessments of arrest.
The next gig I hope is on the 5th, the 6th of November. I persuaded the Irish Rambling House, who normally do a tour of the UK, to come over and just do exclusively for us in Harrow. In February next year, I was lucky enough to get a booking with the Kilkennys on tour, so I'm hoping to have them at the Salvatorian College in Harrow. And Gerry has got also a programme up his end of the country.
It's a fundraiser for a parish in Africa where the children go to school and they sit on the floor. And I saw it online, and we're fundraising to get them school benches.
Wire, Michael Hines, Tom McCarthy, Jimmy Power and Reg Hall. Raise up your glasses now, here's to them all.
It's been a lovely night here at the Dyke Hotel, and a big well done to all the performers and everybody who entertained the crowd. And thank you to Patrick O'Connell and Gerry Molumby for arranging a great Irish night here in London. Well, it's time for us to take a break. and we'll see you in 2 minutes.
Have you booked that trip to Ireland yet? Press the green button and visit the island of Ireland. See Ireland.com.
Eurogold is driven by being the best civil engineering contractor in the Northwest, ensuring its clients are given the highest level of service that they deserve. Eurogold work in a wide range of industry sectors, including house building, highways, commercial and industrial build.
La Vita is an award-winning, independently run Italian restaurant. Located on Rose Lane in the heart of Liverpool, real Italian-style dishes, using the best ingredients, skillfully prepared by our chefs. Come and try our serious Italian experience.
The Warrington Irish Club, a friendly and welcoming club keeping the Irish culture alive. We have Irish and country music every Saturday night, tribute nights, race nights, charity nights and karaoke. All live sports are shown on big screens. We have snooker, dominoes and Crown Green bowling teams along with arts and craft. Pop in for a friendly welcome and book your event at the Warrington Irish Club. Give Frank a call on 01925 243 363.
Mulligan's Funeral and Monumental Services are a family-owned funeral service first established by the late Brian Mulligan in 1996. We provide funeral homes in Gorton, Manchester and Reddish, Stockport, and we pride ourselves on giving a friendly and professional service to all the families who use our service. Contact us on 0161 432 0809.
Founded in Kilkenny, Ireland in 1702, but lost on a bet on a horse race in Deauville, France, 1918. Sullivan's was re-established a few years ago by direct descendants of two great Kilkenny brewing families, the Smithicks and the Sullivans. We're about to embark on our own journey across the United Kingdom. But this time, we won't bet the brewery. Sullivan's. Brewing is in our blood.
Press the green button and visit the island of Ireland. See Ireland.com.
Welcome back. Now, of course, dementia is a horrible disease and it can strike any one of us at any time. Well, on tonight's show, we'll be meeting some people who has given up their lives to care for a family member at home. Of course, this requires great dedication and can cause a lot of stress and financial hardship. And we'll be finding out what support is available to people who care from home.
She's just been a wonderful mum. Looked after me all my life, took me places, showed me life's experience. Couldn't have wished for a better mum, really. She just turned 80. We arranged a party for her and I told her we were going to take her out for lunch. And when I arrived at the house, she said, well, nobody told me. And I'm like, you know, that's not true, so what's going on? We got to the party, there were people there that she'd known all of her life, and she's asking me, I know that person, who, what's the name, who's that? And I think that was the first instance that we realised that there was maybe something going on. She was very independent, she was very strong physically, really, you know, very, still driving, still coming to dance classes with me, doing her own shopping. Cakes would go in the basket, she loved her cakes, but there was just little tiny things that you noticed that were not quite right. I cared for her at home for 7 years And initially she could potter about, she could do her own thing, you know, wander about the garden, read a book. And then her eyesight failed, that became less, her needs became more challenging. She needed assistance with walking. And then it got to a point where physically I couldn't manage to do everything by myself. So we went through social services and had a carer that used to come in. Now, the original carer was absolutely phenomenal. She was like a godsend. She was so kind. She did the best job possible for Mum. And then unfortunately she had to go to nurse her own father, and we got carers coming in that really weren't as efficient and actually made my job of caring a little bit harder.
My mum is 93 years old. She was born in 1929, and we always used to blame her for the Great Depression and the crash that followed. We always used to pull her leg after that. So she's 93, but when she was 85, she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and obviously I've been looking after her with some other carers over the intervening 8 years as it is now. But in 2018, my mum suffered a delirium in hospital when she was admitted with an undiagnosed chest complaint, and she's been bedbound ever since. So that's 4 years now, 4 and a little bit years, and she lives at home with me. I have a hospital bed in the sitting room, and that's where she is right now whilst I'm talking to you. The effect it's having on me is difficult. It is difficult. We've had support with other professional carers. However, in the pandemic, one of them, the principal carer, tragically contracted COVID and very, very sadly passed away. And so it's fallen to me to pick up most of those duties since then. So I am a little exhausted at the moment. It's starting to wear on me, but it's my mother.
So I'm Rachel Yates-Hoyles and I work for Age UK Salford, and I'm a project manager for Empowered Carers, which comes under Empowered Conversations. So we offer a 6-week communication course supporting families supporting people living with dementia, and we offer one-to-one counselling, coaching support for carers.
How long has this been actually established?
So Empowered Conversations about 6 years now, and we work across the Salford area, and last year we went into Bolton, so hopefully we can spread our work across the Greater Manchester area. We're based in Age UK Salford in the Dementia Support Service, so we're quite heavily connected to a lot of the community and to a lot of the other organisations who make referrals to us. We work with a lot of stressful family carers, husbands and wives, sons and daughters, grandchildren. It's incredibly stressful. The whole diagnosis of getting a diagnosis can be stressful, and we work with people on a weekly basis, seeing people regular sessions, just for them to talk really about the stresses and the challenges that they are going through in their daily lives.
There is a point where you get brain fog, you burn out, you just get carer exhaustion. I mean, I've not had a day off for how many years? I've lost count. And you do get to the point where you think, I can't even remember what I had for supper yesterday. You do get that confusion because the one you care for is the centre of your attention, and you just neglect yourself. You forget all about yourself. You can get to a point where people can just snap and burn out. I hope I'm not reaching that, but at times I do worry. And presently, with this threat of the review and the withdrawal of funding, it's preying on my mind, I don't mind telling you.
We basically, as a family, had to pay for every service that was involved in Mum's care. Because Mum had lived in her own home and had bought her own home, the state don't allow you to be funded free of charge. Unfortunately, it's means tested, and any service that you receive has to be paid for, which can become a financial drain. Mum only received a small pension, so the asset of the house was taken into consideration. Mum's needs got to a point where I couldn't care for her any longer at home, so she's now in care. For the first 2.5 years of that care, again, we had to pay enormous amounts of money really for her being looked after. And it's only within the last 12 months that Mum's needs have become so many that we've actually qualified for continuing healthcare funding by the state.
Of course, you're very well known here throughout the country for your Justine Ward-Mallinson School of Irish Dancing. Great success in the World Championships and All Britain Championships.
Class is great. Class is my respite. Class is where I go away and escape all the worries of the day. So in respect of the dance class, I just enjoy what I do. I love it, and the kids bring me enjoyment too.
Are there different types of dementia, and can dementia strike younger people rather than the older generation?
We work with people of all ages, but the prevalence rates and the research shows that age is a factor. Yes, and everybody is different. You might hear the saying, you know, when you've met one person living with dementia, you've met one person living with dementia. There's lots of different types of dementia, and lots of people have different symptoms. So yeah, it's played out in different ways. So here at Age UK Salford, we support lots of different families over the Greater Manchester area, and we have facilitators who do the communication courses, and we have counsellors and coaches who do the one-to-ones within Empowered Conversations.
If you have nothing, then everything's paid for automatically by the government and by the state. But if you have something and you've worked your life for it, then it's taken away.
Now, if there's an MP watching us tonight, and the chances are that there will be somebody watching us, some minister or whatever, what would you like to say to them?
Probably won't be very popular, but the whole of adult social services, in my own opinion, needs a complete redress. It needs to be overhauled. There are too many services that unfortunately are not fit for purpose. Again, in my opinion and in my experience, there are services that are supposed to help that drain you. You don't receive that help. All I've found is that they add to, burden's not the correct word because looking after mum's not a burden, but it just makes life so much more difficult.
Before mum was hospitalised and ended up under the CHC funding, I used to pay for care direct. Okay, she was more mobile in those days. She was a lot more cognitively aware. She'd sit at the table, be able to eat herself. And I used to fund that so I could go off to work. Somebody help get her up in the morning, give her some breakfast and support her. And that was a paid-for agency that was very, very good. And it was only one of the ladies at the agency said, well, why aren't you under direct payment? I said, what on earth that? He said, well, it's a direct payment you can get from the social services to pay for a personal assistant. So nobody told me that. And it happened to be one of the carers said, oh yeah, I look after lots of other people who are under direct payment. I said, well, why don't I know about it? So there is this. I know people think, oh, it might be an urban myth that the government doesn't tell you about money that you are allowed to access. It's perfectly true. We were never told by any care agency, even after an original diagnosis, when you get an absolute raft of paperwork thrown at you. There was nothing in there about the funding of the care at all. There's lots of, this agency might help, you might want to do this, you might need power of attorney, you might need this piece of legislation, you need to look at this and this, safety in the home, all that great, mountains of it to wade through, but absolutely nothing about who's actually going to pay for any of this. I just assumed I'd have to. Most of this is just, you know, it's just terrible. It's just,
it's unbelievable, isn't it, the amount of paperwork.
What we're being offered presently from both social services and from what the district nurses say, well, we can backfill with other agencies. For myself, it's not sufficiently good.
She's still with me, which is an absolute pleasure and bonus, but unfortunately, she's no longer able to form a conversation. She unfortunately can't see, she can't feed herself, she can't walk. I hope that she has some pleasure inside her own mind. That's most important, really.
There are lots of people who care for family members at home, and of course they do a wonderful job. We hope that the government will provide a financial package to help them survive. Well, that's about it for this week. Don't forget, Henry McGlade is back with us next Thursday evening at 7 o'clock, and we'll be here at 7:30. Until then, thank you all for watching.